A lot of people might blame our struggles on Siakam because we are 0-5 with Siakam in the starting lineup. But it's much deeper than that. It's not just Siakam. Our team, just as a whole, has a lot of holes in them. And we'll talk about the bad stuff, of course, but let's go to the good stuff on our team. We're second in the league in steals. We have a lot of guys that have great length, that are just great defenders. We have Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes came in, gives us great energy, can guard the point guard, can guard the small forward, the power forward, not the center, but he gets down and dirty, and he really puts in the effort. Gary Trent. Gary Trent's one of the league leaders in steals. He's been amazing for us. Like steals for the fourth quarter, he's been getting passing lanes, and when people drive in, we have Fred VanVleet that also helps out. Even big man, he gets jump balls. Is really coming into his own as an NBA player, and he's really taking the reins of this team. And with those steals lead to fast break points, and we're first in the league in fast break points. That's where we get a lot of our easy buckets because our offense is trash. We're averaging 16 points fast break, and it helps with the steals. And when we're out in a fast break, we have the lob threats. Of course, Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes, remember that Nets game where he had those two steals that were big for us. We still lost the game, but they were big for us. Those are the type of easy points we get with the Raptors. Raptors wing play, bench, they all get after it with fast break, especially Banton also helps out with that. And that's one of the ways we've been getting easy baskets. That's one of the ways we've still stayed afloat. And another reason we're staying afloat is our turnovers. We don't turn the ball over that much. As good as that is, yes, sometimes we have some dumb turnovers, but we don't turn the ball over. We take care of the ball. That's a great thing to have. We take care of the ball. We don't make dumb mistakes, and we take advantage of misplays from the other team. And of all those good stuff, we have to get to the bad stuff. We just can't score. We cannot score. We're 21st in the league in scoring. Can't score, especially when Fred VanVleet isn't hitting his shots, or maybe Gary Trent isn't hitting his shots. Especially with Siakam in the picture, Siakam's been inconsistent. We have a lot of inconsistency in our team. Like we shoot the ball middle of the league, but we attempt so many threes. We're in the top half in 3 points attempts, but we're in the bottom half in percentage. And that shows because sometimes when no one can make their threes, we look like a horrible team. But when we're making our threes, we look like a great team because the ball movement is much better. We don't have people trying to ISO. We don't have people trying to force things, especially when they can dish it out and the person can hit the shots. I think because of the rotation, like Steve Mikhailuk has been really good for us. But the thing is, he doesn't get enough minutes. Doesn't get enough minutes. When Siakam was out and Steve Mikhailuk was getting more playing time, he got to play more. He got to play more. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why our bench scoring is one of the last. Our bench scoring is last in the league. We're averaging 24 points off the bench. And the thing is, our bench should be better than it was last year. It should be better than it was last year. But with Siakam, we don't know who's our starting lineup yet because Siakam's at a starting center, and that's problematic. That's really problematic because when we first teams that have good big men, we just look dumb because we have Siakam. If he's switching, then we have Fred VanVleet guarding someone like Rudy Gobert. Like it just can't be happening. Like Banton's a great addition to our bench. Malachi Flynn, he hasn't gotten enough minutes, but because of Siakam being in the starting lineup, we haven't seen Svi Mikhailuk. We haven't seen a lot of Svi Mikhailuk, and he was doing really good in the beginning of the season. Like I was looking at him, he was dribbling, he was active defensively. He was our only real 3-point threat that like off the screens because as good as Fervent Lee is, he doesn't get a lot of chances to go off the screen because he's initiating the offense. Gary Trent's also a really good one, but he's inconsistent with his three. Not his shot making ability, but he's inconsistent with his three. Senior Kyluk was one of our best ones, but we don't see a lot of bench scoring because we have Chris Boucher, who's been so inconsistent this year. Chris Boucher he's been awful and good. Like he's been a plus and a negative. That's what I call Chris Boucher, a plus negative on the court. We still don't know what we're gonna do with Dragic. Dragic as our backup point guard, he's been non-existent, and that's fine because we're probably gonna trade him in the trade deadline. And although Kim Birch is really good at just being a Swiss Army knife, being backup, being a starter, he's been a great bench player. Of course he has, but I feel like he's better on offensive end. I feel like him and Fred Lee not offensive end. I think he's better as a starter because him and Fran VanVleet have that good connection, and he has that great floater that we can use as an asset. And another thing that I've noticed is that we just don't get as much assists as we should. We have a lot of stagnant offense. We have a lot of offense like coming off rebounds and putbacks. Like Scotty Barnes, a lot of his points are putbacks. OG Anunoby, a lot of his threes are dribble, step back three, and he does hit the catch and shoot occasionally. But we just need more free flowing offense, and I feel like Kim Birch as a starting center would really help with that because he's a great passer. He's a great passer as a big. Precious Achiuwa, he doesn't know what he's doing when he's on the court, and he's injured right now. And that's another thing that's been a problem is injuries for the Raptors. But he's injured right now. But he's a ball stopper. He tries too much. He's like Siakam when he first came in the league. Precious Achiuwa is not the best. He's not the best player at the moment, but he can grow. He can learn. He's very young. I feel like for our team that we don't score as easy, and our field goal percentage is 44%. We're the lower end in the NBA with field goal percentage, especially considering how we have a lot of guys that can finish around the rim. We just don't. We have a lot of guys that start chucking up short threes. Like sometimes it's really ugly to watch the Raptors play. And with the amount of injuries that we're dealing with, we don't have a consistent bench. And because we don't have a consistent bench, it's hard for us to see what the future will hold. And with these problems we have with the bench scoring, with our rebounding, field goal percentage, how hard it is for us to score in the half court offense, what can we do to solve this? Look for trades because Goran Dragic, he's eating up as our salary cap, and he's not even playing. We need a big man. And Precious Achiuwa cannot be our big man. We need to trade for someone like a Miles Turner, even though I'm not really a fan of Miles Turner because sometimes he's just out of the game. Like, as big as he is, he doesn't play like a big man. He plays like he's Chris Boucher with muscle. And we need a big man because we have no rim protection. Like, we have no rim presence. Of course, we have Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes has been amazing for us. Defensively, offensively. But with him and Siakam there, you missed some things. You missed the Scotty Barnes that's happy and energetic not because Siakam is being detrimental. It was just that when someone is plopped in the star lineup and he's shooting like 12, 14 shots per game, you try to pick and choose when you want to score, when you want to shoot. That's something I've seen with Scotty Barnes. Before he was more potent in the offense, but now he's picking and choosing when he wants to go at it. He's not as aggressive, obviously, because he knows that it's not only about him anymore. And it wasn't about him before, but he's not a number 1 or 2 option now. He looks like a rookie now. When Siakam's in the starting lineup, he looks like a rookie. The Raps, we need a big man. And what's crazy is the Raptors are actually good offensively. We're first in the league in offensive rebounds. A lot of our guys crash the boards. We have Scotty Barnes that crashed the boards, Siakam, OG Anunoby. They all crash the boards, but defensively, or defensive rebounding, we can't close out possessions because their guys are big centers and they just abuse us in the paint. Like against the Cavs, that Jared Allen destroyed us. And if we had a real, genuine big man, or at least a backup or something like that, it would have been much better because we have that presence where it's like, oh, you see, grab the ball, now we out. But when you have someone like Precious Achiuwa, your out might turn into a spin around turnover. And then you're back to square one, defending. As good as the defense is, if our offense isn't helping us, we'll get into games like with the Cavs where it's closer than it should be. Or the Pistons where it's closer than it should be. And we've had some bad losses the first quarter of the year. Or first 20 games of the year. We just had some bad losses. Horrible losses, and it's just telling you that we need a change. A lot of people are saying trade Siakam. I'm not opposed to that, honestly, because I feel like when Siakam on the court, it takes away from Scotty Barnes. I'm not opposed to Siakam being traded, but I think we have to see this fold for another 10 games. And if it's still going to the way it is, then we need to shake things up. Because Siakam, although his contract is bad, not a lot of people might want him. It's just hard to see how hard to see how we can continue going at this because we just have too many wings that can't shoot. Siakam, unfortunately, with his injury, he wasn't able to work on it in his bag, and you can see it. Doesn't look like he's improved that much from last year. If we trade for someone that could fill those holes, our team will be much better. But I mean, I'm just a Raptors fan. I'm just a casual Raptors fan. Like the video, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and peace.